An event that competitors have been fearing, have been worried about since the very beginning of the MarbleLympics. Collision. Hello everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Last event, the Raspberry Racers overtook the Green Ducks at the top of the MarbleLympics standings in a battle that I don't think anybody saw coming heading into this year's events. For this particular one, Collision, a straight-out brawl. You saw those ball bearings at the beginning. Those can be launched if you bump into the ramps. The yellow ones in the middle are a little bit stronger than the ones out on the edges. For every opponent's marble that you knock off, you get a point. Out they go to the sides. Chocolatiers keeping 3 on, and it looks like they're going to come away as the early winners on this one. Look at them all bunching together in that little circle. That spread them out and dissipated a lot of energy as they blew everybody to the side. So in each group, 6 matches, so each team will play 3 times against 3 different opponents. Only the best 2 teams of each group will advance to the quarterfinals. So many different strategies that the marbles will take in this event. Down they come, O-Rangers and Crazy Cat's Eyes. Look at the O-Rangers keeping 2 of them in the center. Another one off to the left. And watch them, it's almost like a line that they got in and just put all of that energy forward, splaying the Crazy Cat's Eyes in 3 different directions. Crazy Cat's Eyes, I think their strategy was the absolute wrong one to have. If you're going to come in a circle, you don't want to be facing a pike of sorts. That'll just split right through you. All right, Hazers and Crazy Cat's Eyes now. Hard hit, everybody heading to the edges. The ball bearings, 3 of them have been released. And more. Ciaran getting a nasty punch. Apparently only a minor injury we're hearing, but Crazy Cat's Eyes, a lot of them on the board. I can see at least 4, but same for the Hazers. Guess there's one hiding down in the corners here. So if the steel ball comes down or falls off the arena, no points or penalties awarded. It just kind of happens. So you can see 4 of them. 5 were launched. But if the steel balls do knock your marbles off, like we just saw down at the bottom right there, well, that does count for the other team. The result of match 3 is a draw. Amazing. With all of that chaos, only 1 of each team's marbles being knocked off. Chocolatiers and the O-Rangers. There's good impact again by the Chocolatiers. And they're going to keep 2 in the middle. This time the O-Rangers not quite as organized as the last time. Immediately losing 2 far side and near side, and then off in that upper corner, Chocolatiers dropped 1 down on the low side. And several of them followed suit. Almost exactly same gaps that the O-Rangers went through, and as a result, another draw. O-Rangers staring down the Hazers. Several of them went straight through, and I don't know if that was strategy or a mistake, but the Hazers are going to keep 2 of them on as opposed to 1. That should be enough to get them the win. Look at how bunched the Hazers were. It kind of worked to their advantage, I would have thought, but a lot of them headed off to the sides anyway. Watch on the right there, that lucky bump stays on. Interesting, the O-Rangers sent 3 to the right side, as we're looking down at right now, and they all ended up getting swept off the course. Hazers win by 1. Chocolatiers and Crazy Cat's Eyes. Several of them went straight through in that one, too. 2 ball bearings released. And thankfully, everybody got out of the way. This is also going to be a draw, it appears. 3 apiece staying on the board. Remember, it's the ones that go off that count. For the points, that is. And it's 2-2. 2 marbles apiece knocked off for the opponents. The Chocolatiers tied again, but they will advance to the quarterfinals. Remember, a win, 3 match points. It was just enough to get them on to the next round. If there's a tie between 2nd and 3rd place, by the way, points difference will be used as a tiebreaker. In this case, O-Rangers advance, and the Hazers go no further. In Group B, we begin, and it's a lot of marbles heading off. One of the ball bearings came down, and it looks like the Green Ducks, they get all in line, knocking it off to the side, and that one Green Duck is going to be launched off there in the far corner by that ball bearing from the right. A couple of them just speared straight off, but the Balls of Chaos followed with them, and it results in a draw. Midnight Wisps and the Indigo Stars. Ball bearing sent, and that knocked 2 of the Indigo Stars off. One of the Midnight Wisps follows suit, but I see 3 Wisps on the board compared to 2 Indigo Stars. We'll watch that ball bearing on the top side. Ooh. A friendly hello. Oh man, when that ball bearing, they are really a chain reaction. And they send them flying. As a result, Midnight Wisps, they win the match 3-2. Green Ducks and the Midnight Wisps. Goose, the one in the back for the Green Ducks, and he comes to a complete stop. That actually works pretty well. He's safe on the board, as are 3 of his teammates. And the Green Ducks have a pretty good victory in this one. Only 1 of their marbles getting knocked off. Midnight Wisps opting for kind of a 2-3 attack, but it just fell to pieces. Replay zooms in. Look at how many of the Green Ducks are already stationary. 4-1. That's a drubbing. Green Ducks fans still in disbelief about the way that this MarbleLympics has gone for them. They want to bring it home, though. In the penultimate event, Balls of Chaos and Indigo Stars. Balls of Chaos almost got completely knocked off the board. 2 of them held on at the base of the ramps, which is dangerous. You don't want to hang on to those too much, because if you launch one of those ball bearings, you are gone. 3 Balls of Chaos coming to the near side, down there at the bottom of your screen. In concert. Much better strategy that time for the Indigo Stars. Indigo Montoya back there came all the way across and settled at the base. They win 3-1. Back in the gate for the Green Ducks. The Green Ducks opt for the same sort of strategy as before, and it's going to turn out exactly the same for them. 4 stay on the board, but this time a better challenger. That's this Green Ducks. They opt for a 1-3-1, and as they make the hit, almost tripping that ball bearing down at the bottom for the Indigo Stars. Indigo Stars just going wide. And if anything, maybe that does bleed off a little bit of momentum and energy that might keep you on the board, but they come up on the short end of that match. Final of Group B. 6 of 6, Balls of Chaos and the Wisps. Everybody heads out to the side. One of the ball bearings is released, but it doesn't actually cause a lot of damage. Hanging on the sides here. Both of them really bunched up when they made their initial contact. Great job, upper right. Nudging that block, but the Midnight Wisps able to stay on the board. You can see the block is kind of bent backward a little bit, but Balls of Chaos just a little bit better. They come away with the win. Advancing out of the group, the Green Ducks and the Balls of Chaos. The Indigo Stars and Midnight Wisps, they are eliminated. Is speed the key in this event? Well, we're about to find out. The first match of Group C, the Savage Speeders and the Pinkies. Look to the middle and a lot of missed impacts. The Pinkies are going to keep all of them on the board. Whether that was by design or accident, I don't know. I think their line kind of fell apart a little bit, the Pinkies. They were coming down in a 1-3-1, but it dropped off. All of them knocked to the side, but they weren't able to clear very many of the Savage Speeders. Still, enough for a 2-0 win. The Thunderbolts and the Jungle Jumpers from near to far, respectively. Impact comes out center side, knocks them back and forth. 2 ball bearings are released and causes a little bit more chaos. Another one of the Thunderbolts fell victim. 3-2 on the line for the Thunderbolts. Spreads them out wide and knocks those ball bearings a piece. Ooh, a brush there on that upper left marble. But overall, Thunderbolts actually did a pretty good job of getting out of the way, and their evasiveness gives them a 2-1 win. Savage Speeders and the Thunderbolts now. Velocity in back goes all the way across for the Savage Speeders. 2 ball bearings are released and knocks one of the Savage Speeders out. Oh, that marble thought it was safe in the upper left corner. It settled right between those 2 openings. And then all of a sudden, here comes the ball bearing and thwack. That enough to break what would have been a draw. Instead, the Thunderbolts come away with the win. Pinkies and the Jungle Jumpers. Jungle Jumpers bunched together, and it looked like it was going to work, and it does work. But what do the ball bearings do? So many of them being released. Look at the Jungle Jumpers huddling together, hoping that if it does bump them, they can at least go around it. Yes, they do. Still creeping ball bearings. Watch that upper left of your screen. Oh boy, that was close. What a job by the Jungle Jumpers. Also kind of a modified 1-3-1 at an angle a little bit. They lose one to the near side. And then here comes the ball bearings. Thankfully, that one jungle jumper hit the ramp that had already been deployed. And that keeps them safe enough, easily, to walk away with a victory in match 4. I don't know when the Savage Speeders adopted a chainsaw as a logo, but all right. Is it going to work for them? No, they get the buzzsaw here from the Jungle Jumpers. That is going to be a Jungle Jumper victory. Interesting, spreading one way out to the side. I don't know if that was just a misstep that sent that Jungle Jumper way to the other side and straight off the course. No impact at all. Regardless, enough for a 3-2 win. The final match of Group C, Pinkies and the Thunderbolts. Down they come on a 2-3 for the Thunderbolts. They send one of the ball bearings. 3 Thunderbolts grouping together over on the far side, but the same can be said for the Pinkies until you notice at the bottom of that yellow ramp where that ball bearing is going, there is a 4th member of the Pinkies still on the board. 1-2-2 almost that the Pinkies sent. And just soft enough, they keep those blocks from falling, and the Pinkies get the win. That is some delicate stuff there. Unfortunately, it is not enough for them to advance. Off of the points differential, the Pinkies lose out. The Jungle Jumpers and the Thunderbolts move on. On to Group D with the Raspberry Racers and the Oceanics. They're going to lose 3 right off the bat. Oceanics, nearly trigger the ball bearing on the right side. And instead, once they all come settled, they realize there's one more Raspberry Racer than Oceanic out on the board. That was almost an arrow-shape attack by the Raspberry Racers, what some would call a 3-1-1. And the Raspberry Racers pick up a 1-point win. Team Galactic to the near side, Mellow Yellow to the far. Hard impact sends some marbles straight back in the other directions. But 4 are holding on for Mellow Yellow. 4 are holding on for Team Galactic. I would say we have a draw. Relatively straightforward 3-2 that Team Galactic came out with. Didn't give them a huge advantage. It was almost I don't even know what you would call that from Mellow Yellow, but it worked out fairly well. It's almost an X shape. 2 ball bearings released now, but nobody there for them to collect. Raspberry Racers are going to sneak on by. 3-2 left on the board. Flip that math and give you what they get in points. I'm always doing that. I'm always saying who's left on the board, but other way around. 3-2, the Raspberry Racers get the win. 5 stars indeed. Looking pretty good out there. Oceanics and Mellow Yellow. Oceanics need a good finish in one of these. They lose 2-3 to the near side immediately. But they may get lucky because Mellow Yellow may do the same. This will be a draw. Mellow Yellow immediately losing 2 up. They're very lucky not to trip that yellow ball bearing in the top center. The team's not quite centered when they hit each other. Some teams prefer to do that. Others believe that they are the stronger team and they want to hit square on. Doesn't always work. Mellow Yellow and the Raspberry Racers, and all came apart for the Raspberry Racers there. Good chunk of their team just took a beeline to the top side and went through the same 3-block gap. Just a glancing blow from the bulk of Mellow Yellow. And there's where that being off kilter really hurt you. Mellow Yellow able to bunch together at the bottom of that ramp and keep themselves safe. Oceanics and Team Galactic, they need a win. Oceanics, can they get it? One comes straight across. They've got 4 on the board if they can hold it. And yes, they will. The Oceanics finally have something to smile about. Just firing their coach 2 events ago. Lagoon stepping in the last event. Not to the results that they wanted in surfing. At least they get a win in this particular match. But is it going to be enough for them to advance? 4-1, that's a pretty good differential. And no! Oceanics are eliminated in the group stage. Raspberry Racers, who sit at the top of the MarbleLympics standings, and Mellow Yellow move on. Into the quarterfinals we go. A long, arduous event. Fans are nervous, the teams trying desperately to calm back down, get their game faces on. Raspberry Racers and Balls of Chaos enter the arena and may have just played to a draw. 3-1-1 for the Racers. And that did spear one of the Balls of Chaos off to the right side. The other one tried his best to get the Raspberry Racers off. So 1-1, because it's the quarterfinals, we do it again until somebody gets knocked off. One Ball of Chaos is down to the near side, but that was from the first heat, so we have another draw. 3 Raspberry Racers setting up that front line to make the initial contact. A ball bearing nearly taking out a second Ball of Chaos, but we're tied again. This time, several self-inflicted wounds, and the Balls of Chaos should come away with it. Watching on that left side, everybody's settled now. Just kind of came down almost in a little box, a little diamond pattern, and that'll do it. Balls of Chaos come away 2-3, 3-2 rather, and they will advance. Chocolatiers and the Thunderbolts in quarterfinal B. Line being hit, off they spread, and the Thunderbolts are going to come up short. Thunderbolts immediately sent to the sides. One of them came straight through and had too much momentum up there in the upper left and careened straight through the block. That is a loss. Chocolatiers will move on. On to the Green Ducks and Mellow Yellow. Green Ducks trigger 2 of the ball bearings. They manage to keep in the middle if they can avoid the steal. They might win this one, but watch on the left side. They're going to lose another one. It ends in a draw. Tight bunch by Mellow Yellow when they had the initial impact. But this one, as you see it on the right there, it wasn't even going to matter if that steel ball got over there. Just could not slow down enough. Green Ducks getting a little bit eager. So into the gate, 2 versus 2. Slight little nudge. And the Green Ducks are going to be knocked out completely and figuratively of the event. The team that is trying to bring it home and win the MarbleLympics, who needed to keep pace with the Raspberry Racers, instead is eliminated in the quarterfinals. Mellow Yellow moves on. Jungle Jumpers and the O'Rangers. The start of the boom from the crowd. And oh yes, that's going to work. Only losing 1 while knocking off 4. How did they do it? A tight bunch and that spear again. We've seen them do that before. Their one almost as a sacrifice up to the upper left. Everybody else splayed to the near side and over to the right. Some of the O'Rangers knocked straight back. I guess that's what you want on a solid impact. It's a benefit. And a 4-1 result. 5th through 8th is set. Raspberry Racers, they finish in 5th. Green Ducks just behind them. Balls of Chaos and the Chocolatiers in semifinal A. Oh, and a couple of marbles hanging on the edge, especially over there on the left. That might be enough for the Balls of Chaos. And it is 3-2. Balls of Chaos are on to the finals. Mellow Yellow and the O'Rangers. That spear didn't take too much shape for the O'Rangers, but it actually worked out for them until the ball bearings came by. Oh, is the same thing going to happen on the left? Oh, 2 Mellow Yellows pinned up against the corner with the fate of the match on the line. And they stay safe. And the O'Rangers come away with the win. Wow! That was a little unexpected. The 3rd place match, Chocolatiers and Mellow Yellow. No time to regroup. That ball bearing tried desperately to knock the Chocolatiers out, but they stay on the board. Unfortunately for them, more Mellow Yellows did too. Solid impact. Immediately got those ball bearings going. Lost 1 Mellow Yellow because of it. Almost lost another. But the Chocolatiers come up just short. And so it goes. O'Rangers and the Balls of Chaos. Impact off to the side. Balls of Chaos lose a couple. O'Rangers, as the ball bearings get released, they're going to lose another one on the far side. They opt not for the spear, but the O'Rangers have done enough. O'Rangers have 1 gold. Balls of Chaos, that is their first medal of the MarbleLympics. They are happy about it. Not quite as happy as the O'rangers, who net 25 points and a gold medal. O'rangers up on top. Balls of Chaos and Mellow Yellow. Our winners, our podium finishers. Oceanics fans, they are pretty done with this. If you look at the standings, they are locked in to 16th. They cannot advance. The Raspberry Racers, the Green Ducks, and the Hazers, in the meantime, are the only three who can win the MarbleLympics as it comes down to the final event, the Sand Rally.